All right, so I feel like every 5 years or so, a movie comes out that has such overwhelming praise from the Hollywood and political class that it's almost like hard to watch it from a dispassionate point of view and give it a fair review. One Battle After Another is definitely one of those movies for the decade of the 2020s. So let's talk about what I think. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Before we get started, follow me on Rumble, X, and Instagram. I am on all three of those. I post simultaneously every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Okay, so this is kind of a tough movie to review because on the one hand, as a movie from a technical standpoint, the production values, the choice and usage of music and sound, the design of the sound, the editing, the script, the passion that's behind it, the performances by all the actors. It's a great movie in that regard. It's a really great technical achievement. You know what you are getting with a Paul Thomas Anderson film, and this is exactly one of those movies. Looks great, the acting is on point, and all of that is really good. It's thrilling, it's got a story that is really well told and gives you the stakes in a way that's very meaningful and heartfelt, and then it gives you characters that ultimately are deeply flawed across the board but are fairly easy to root for. So it also gives you the clear kind of, I think, over the top and wild caricature of a villain, and all of those things come together to make what is overall a great movie. However, the movie itself and the messaging of the movie, I think, is fairly overtly political and just very wild. The movie is about a group of revolutionaries. They're communists. The movie doesn't use the term, but that's what they are. They are far left, revolutionary, socialist, communist, whatever you want to call it, who are raiding an immigration facility. Very on brand for the year 2026, very on point for this day and age. And so that aspect of the story, it makes sense for what these people are doing at the time. We have Leonardo DiCaprio's character. His name is Terry. He's one of these revolutionaries. And they call him the Rocket Man because he shoots off rockets as distractions and stuff. It's kind of silly and glossed over, but he then has a daughter with his black girlfriend, wife, who then snitches on the group. And then the movie picks up 15 years later as he's got this young daughter who he's ultimately trying to rescue from the bad guys. And the bad guy is Stephen Lockjaw, who is played by Sean Penn, and who's this military commander who's desperate to be in this secret cabal of white supremacists. That aspect of the story is actually really interesting, and I think that's where it becomes really kind of funny at how cartoonish and over the top the bad guys are. And it's hard to describe the politics of the movie because they're just so wild and overt and in your face and over the top, and that's fine if that's your point of view. But I don't think those things necessarily make it a great movie. I think Hollywood disagrees. Anytime a film comes out that has this very in-your-face messaging that the people who live in this part of the country and in particularly that line of business and industry work, if you agree with them so outwardly and openly, they will give you all of the plaudits, and any critique of your movie will completely just disappear into the ether, never to be seen again. So, of course, the overwhelming critical praise for One Battle After Another is not surprising in the least. I don't think this is the greatest movie ever made. I don't think this is the best movie of the 2020s. And I don't think it's even the best movie of last year. It's a really good film that wears its politics on its sleeve. and doesn't care what you think about it. And you do have to kind of respect that he doesn't seem to really give a single solitary shit what anybody thinks, and he has the money and the means and the financial backing from Warner Brothers to do so. So um, I don't I don't love the glorification of murdering people you disagree with and violent activism and bank robbery and just murdering people who disagree with you. So I don't love the movie's politics from that point of view, because these people are like full-blown awful terrorists that we are asked to sympathize with. There's one thing that like hit me very early in the movie that kind of stuck with me throughout, and that was that this movie legitimately feels like the single most effective and overt piece of political propaganda that I have ever seen, and that really stuck with me throughout the course of the film. I liked the movie overall. I think it's a little overblown in terms of the hype. I will say this, as overt as the movie's politics are, I think some of it borders on parody, and there's like two or three very like small moments where the facade cracks a little bit, just enough to poke fun at how absurd some people who are on the political left tend to be with how they speak about things that they clearly don't really know all that much about. So like it's really funny to see the movie kind of like poke fun at the characters that it's revering. And that's one thing that makes me kind of question, like, it's clear that you know what Paul Thomas Anderson's politics are when you watch the movie, but there's also a little like tiny bit of him that's making fun of it, and I respect that. When a filmmaker's at least um, cognitive enough of what they're doing to like just crack a little bit. And I do those small little moments I picked up on that I really laughed at and liked. DiCaprio's great. DiCaprio's great in everything. Let's be realistic here. Sean Penn's Lockjaw is a tremendous villain. There's so much to love about this movie. But if you're an overtly like if you have anything like remotely right of center politics, like the movie clearly has a lot of disdain for you. So yeah, that's what I thought of One Battle After Another. A really good, like, technical movie that's exciting and enjoyable and funny when it needs to be, and incredibly smart, that tends to hate some people. So yeah, that's what I thought. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm sure people will have thoughts on this movie, as people do. So I'm sure it will also win all sorts of Academy Awards, because Hollywood loves doing that to itself. So let me know what you think of the review and the movie, and I'll see you next Saturday at 9 a.m.